Today's video is the final in the series of 3 for the Signet ring project. We're going to clean up the top, solder on the final piece, and then I'll let you be on your own to do your filing, sanding, and polishing. Okay, so I've done a little cleanup off camera. Not enough to, completely do all the seams, but essentially what I wanted to do is get the bulk of it off before I soldered the cap to the top. Now, I've checked the height on this, and it's a little bit higher than what I would expect for a men's signet ring, but that's something I can cut down. I'm going to go ahead and try and cut that down now. First, I'm going to take my dividers and actually mark the sections that I want to cut off. And I want to take off about 3 millimeters because that'll be nice and low. I'm trying to be careful to cut through both the top and the bottom roughly the same. That way I don't have a ton of cleanup to do. The hardest part is getting through that initial side there. The same thing will happen on this end too. Because you got a flat edge there, you're going to have to cut through the flat edge. There we go. That's a much better profile. So now I'm going to clean off that top and make it even so that when I solder my top cap to it, that it's an actual even flat area. And the way I'm going to do that is to continually check to make sure that this is at a 90-degree angle using my protractor. And I'm also going to keep checking to make sure that it's flat. I'm going to set my protractor at 90 degrees and check the sides. And I got quite a bit to clean up here. Still high on one side. That's this side. There we go. Now it's even. Now I just got to check to see that all the way around I'll get a good fit onto the top cap. I've got a gap here on this side that needs to be fixed. That side looks good. The more time you spend cleaning this up and measuring it and checking it, the less you'll have a crooked ring, and it's really noticeable when you have a square or rectangular side ring, shaped ring, I mean, that if your sides are not straight, it'll be very obvious. So the more time you spend cleaning this up and measuring it and making sure that everything is square, the better it will be for the end result. A little bit of a high spot in the middle here, so That's looking pretty good. Okay, one of the things you need to do before you solder the top on is drill a couple of holes in the top of this ring here. And the reason why you need to do that is because you're making a hollow form, and if you don't drill the holes, heat gets trapped. Heat and steam will get trapped in the joint or in the hollow area of the joint. And you don't want that to happen because you can actually do a lot of damage to yourself. It can explode and it can hurt you pretty severely. So what you need to do is drill a couple of vent holes, and they don't have to be large, they just need to be small enough that you can actually let the air and the steam from the flux and the soldering actually escape from the hollow area. So we're going to do that right now. I'm going to do one last pickle, because once you drill those holes and put the top plate on, you don't want to put it back in your pickle, because if you do, pickle will get trapped in your hollow area and it'll eventually eat away at your joints. So you don't want to pickle it as your last step. So I'm going to go ahead and drill my 2 holes, and then I'm going to set this in the pickle and let it completely clean it. Then I'm going to spend some time doing my joints here, filing my joints a little bit more and cleaning them up just a little bit more, and then I'll finally set this aside and we'll do our soldering. Okay, so I've done my cleanup on the ring. I've drilled my 2 holes and I've got my top plate ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and solder this right now. The important thing about the top plate and any of the other parts is that you got to make sure that you have a flat, clean connection, otherwise it will not solder. You want to be generous with the solder here as well. Okay, I'm going to get my pick ready. I'm going to heat around it so the solder doesn't jump up everywhere. At least try not to. Of course, it's going to go everywhere. Okay. Trying to heat it evenly. Sorry, my pup has decided to join me. Last little solder ball. There we go. I think it's good. I'm going to check all the way around. Looks like I've got everything all the way around. So I'm going to quench this, but I'm not going to pickle this because I don't want there to be any pickle stuck in my joint. So this is the last step of the process. We've got our cap soldered on. Now we need to cut it off and then do the final cleanup. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off now. Okay, there's the top. Now all that's left to do on this ring is actually just do the filing and finish the cleanup, and it's done. So I hope this video was helpful. If so, give me a like down below, share with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye.